You know, even though we were told to prepare for the worst and we know he's in grave condition, there are some chaplains here and everybody's praying for a miracle.
New tonight, we now know the identities of the two Pierce County deputies shot during a SWAT operation earlier today. Just moments ago, the Sheriff's Department identified them as Deputy Dominique Calata and Sergeant Rich Scaniffe. Glad to have you with us tonight. I'm Greg Copeland.
I'm Jessica Janner Castro. The shooting happened just south of Spanaway around noon today, and we begin with team coverage tonight. King 5's Callie Greenberg is in Spanaway, where investigators are piecing together what happened. But first, let's start with Sebastian Robertson with the new information about those deputies. Sebastian.
Well, we're at the hospital in Tacoma where both those deputies were brought. There has been a steady stream of law enforcement all afternoon and into the evening here. And just minutes ago, we learned the identities and ages of the two deputies. I want to go to the younger of the two, 35-year-old Dominique Calata. He's in critical condition. We know he's an Army veteran and has a 4-year-old daughter. The second, Sergeant Rich Scaniffe. He's 45 years old, a 21-year veteran of the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. He's out of surgery and stable. Both men experienced law enforcement deputies that were wounded while serving a high-risk warrant. Members of the Pierce County Sheriff's Department are facing a harsh reality.
We now have two deputies in the hospital and the suspect is deceased.
Two deputies shot Tuesday while serving a high-risk warrant in Pierce County. A 45-year-old male deputy is expected to recover, but will need to remain in the hospital for some time. The second deputy is a 35-year-old Army veteran. He remains in grave condition.
And he was somebody that always stepped up and took care of business.
This afternoon, Pierce County Sheriff Ed Troyer telling us his department and the deputy's family are hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst.
He's a local person who has done nothing but public service his whole entire life. He is a big-hearted, great guy, got in his job for the right reasons.
And Tuesday night, the two wounded officers are surrounded by men and women in uniform, both continuing to fight. Both of those men are fathers with young children. Coming up at 10, we'll have more on their contributions to the department as both men this evening continue to fight for their lives. In Tacoma, Sebastian Robertson, King 5 News.
Okay, Sebastian, thank you. There are still many unanswered questions into what led to the shooting of those two deputies. We want to go down to King 5's Callie Greenberg live for us at the scene in Spanaway, where police are still investigating tonight. So, Callie, what can you tell us?
All right, and Jessica, we'll give you a look at the scene here off Pacific Avenue. As you can see, authorities are still here. We're told that they'll be here for several more hours, or at least until midnight is what we're told. Now, the Pierce County Sheriff Ed Troyer said that he knew this would be a risky warrant based on the suspect's prior felony convictions. Talking to neighbors today who knew the suspect, they say they wish there'd been a different outcome.
What happened started just before noon. Authorities say Pierce County SWAT moved into the area along Pacific Avenue in Spanaway. The South Sound Gang Task Force had located a suspect wanted for a felony, and authorities were looking to make an arrest.
We believe that he was a 3 strikes candidate, and he had a felony warrant for assault with a firearm. And so we knew he was dangerous, and that's why we used a small contingent of our SWAT team.
Troyer said being a 3rd strike candidate meant the suspect was potentially facing life in prison. He says the 40-year-old suspect shot at deputies.
The suspect changed the roles when he got out of the car and opened fire on our deputies.
The suspect died at the scene, and 2 officers were transported to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The neighborhood reacting to what happened.
I was thinking, oh crap, something bad happened. And I knew it had to have something happen with the law enforcement, because you don't really see an escort ever like that for anything else.
Those who knew the suspect say he was protective and will be missed.
It's a situation that just shouldn't have happened.
Not at all. Sad, heartbreak.
He didn't deserve to be killed by the police, regardless of the situation. He was a father. Shouldn't have happened.
So the cars on either side of me, one comes from DuPont, the other comes from Fife, and that is because this investigation is being led by the Pierce County Force Investigation Team. It's made up by law enforcement entities across the county with the goal of creating an independent investigation. Live in Spanaway tonight, Callie Greenberg, King 5 News.